Hello everyone and welcome back to Wintermute. Yes, we are exactly where we left off. We are here in Camp Office and we're going to be carrying on with our Wintermute playthrough. We're in episode 2 as it stands at the moment and we are making our way back to Jeremiah the Trapper to see if we can heal him with the medical supplies we picked up from the dam. We reckon we're going to have to play Dodge the Bear as we make our way across back to Trapper's Cabin. We're in Camp Office at the minute where we left off at the end of the last video. I have done a little bit of housekeeping. I've dropped a few things. I'm going to leave my second hatchet behind. I'm going to leave some of the lantern fuel, fishing tackle, and bits and pieces like that. I've also eaten and drank in the hope that I can get out of my slight encumberment problem. I'm only 3.8 kilos over now, so I'm hoping we'll be alright with that. Because I don't want to drop most of what else I'm carrying. I want to bring most of what else I've got back to Trapper's Cabin, which of course is going to be my primary base whilst we are here in Mystery Lake. So I think we are ready to continue our trudge back to Trapper's Cabin. I'm going to I'm sort of half inclined to keep the distress pistol out because if the bear appears we're going to have to fight it very quickly, I think. Whereas if a wolf appears we've got a little bit more time to switch weapons back. So let's see, how's the temperature? Oh, it's actually pretty good. It's pretty good. Travelling weather looks really quite nice. So we did a little bit of just dropping things, tidying things. Obviously Camp Office is pretty much in the middle of where we're going to be on this map. So hopefully we can find our way back here quite easily to pick up the things that we've left behind. Wintermute is still proving relatively straightforward from a survival standpoint. We've got a reasonable amount of food. Firewood isn't proving to be too much of a problem. So we're actually okay on that. So I've not been worrying too much about gathering firewood and stuff. But I might do a little bit of that, just so that we can feel like we're doing something long darkish. Of course, if you recall, in the previous version of Wintermute, we had to go across Forlorn Muskeg to Broken Railroad before we finished off in Mystery Lake. So I have a feeling that might happen again in this version. So it's going to be on standby in case we need to make a longer trudge like that. Then we are going to have to do a bit more survivally stuff. But right now, I don't want to spend too much time doing it. I want to get back to Jeremiah and get him all healed up before we think about perhaps spending a bit more time doing some of the side missions and doing some of the other stuff in Mystery Lake. So I might do a bit of firewood gathering and things like that when we get to that point. But right now we're actually okay from a survival standpoint. Obviously we are keeping our eyes peeled for the bear. Wolves I'm less worried about. We're used to dealing with those. We can dodge those fairly easily. It is the bear that I'm concerned about as we make our way back towards Trapper's Cabin. Now, in the previous version of Wintermute, the bear appeared in several very specific locations. One of them wasn't this, but it was sort of up past this. Okay, another cooking pot and another recycled can. I'm going to leave them. I'm carrying a cooking pot, so I don't need to worry too much about that. Again, water is not proving too much of a problem either at the moment. That may well change, but at the moment it's okay. I think the difference is in Trapper's Cabin, of course, that you've got an unlimited fire there. Jeremiah's fire just keeps on burning. So you can pretty much make all your water and everything there without having to worry too much. And of course, you don't have to worry about building fire up there. It's always going to have one going. And it's always going to be warm. Okay, so now we are heading to the nerve-wracking bit. This is the part where I have a horrible feeling we are going to come across the bear. I reckon the bear hasn't randomly leapt on us, which... Now, it may well be that little encounter that we had at the dam was just a precursor, just to kind of give us a hint of what's going to be following us, and we are going to end up playing Dodge the Bear after we've healed Jeremiah. Or it may be that the bear is waiting for us and stopping us getting back to Jeremiah. We're going to find out very shortly. So we're up on the ridge. That's the bear's den down there. Every little bit of noise is making me jump. I literally jumped out of the skin with that bit of wind noise there. Okay, well, Trapper's Cabin is over here. I'm coming up with all sorts of theories about when the bear is going to randomly appear and rip my head off. I reckon We may have a clear descent to Trapper's Cabin, but it's going to appear out of nowhere when we get there. There's the cabin. It's looking clear. Kind of ready for a high-speed sprint. Oh, let's go below the tree line. I always like to try and stay as high up this ridge as I can, because you're relatively safe up here. Uh-oh. Ominous music is playing. Music I don't recognise is playing. My finger is hovering on the sprint button. Let's go. Oh, we're going into a headwind, which doesn't help. Okay. Okay, alright. Let's keep sprinting. Come on. Come on, 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 come on. I don't know why I'm so anxious. Well, it's not here. So unless it's lurking behind the house, we're okay. So the question now, of course, is what's going to happen with Jeremiah? So here we go. I have a feeling we may have a cutscene here. Let's keep our eyes peeled.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, that's smart.
Take it easy. You're pretty banged up. Probably a bit delirious, too. I just gave you a shot of some heavy antibiotics. Might feel funny for a while, but it'll help. And you're gonna need some time to recover.
Time? We don't have time. We need to get a message out. It's important.
Message? You mean to your friend, asking for medical help?
Never mind that. Help me up so I can look at the radio. Let's see if the parts you brought back are any good.
That's a military shortwave, isn't it?
Maybe.
I know a bit about radios. It's not like any surplus I've ever seen.
Ah, damn it! Well, parts look fine. So, whatever's wrong with the radio goes deeper than that.
What could it be?
Something to do with the power. Fuses. Transformers, maybe. We have bigger problems to deal with first. That bear's out there, hunting us. He's a smart old bastard. He'll keep us from getting out, getting supplies, finding help. Eventually, he'll either get us, or starve us out. Ah! Oh. I gotta lay down. Help me back to the bed.
Okay, so here we go with the dialogue sequence then. So we're going to say bear, I think, to start with.
What's this unfinished business between you and the bear?
Ah. Me and the old bear. Every time we meet, we make a little trade.
And what do you trade?
Each other's blood, mostly.
Sounds like a losing proposition.
Oh, I'm sure it will be. For one of us.
Okay, we have a new option. Woman, I'm going to go with that one.
The
The dam was pretty busted up, like you said.
place was cracked open by the quake years ago and never recovered. It was already half dead at the time.
Meaning?
The dam dates back to the 60s. Industrialists from the mainland wanted to use it to power a mining town he was planning to build. But the bottom fell out of the price of coal, and he had to abandon those plans. Some fool tried to get it running again in the 80s, but then the forest talkers got involved, and that was the end of it. Pretty sure the Quakes finished the job once and for all.
Okay, the Forest Talkers is an interesting one. Now, I actually ended up selecting down there rather than one, but we'll come back to that in a minute. Forest Talkers is something we've heard a hint of the whole way through this. So let's choose Forest Talkers.
So, who are the Forest Talkers?
Eco-terrorists. Activists, some call them. Depends on who you talk to, I guess.
Why are they out here?
Well, they've been active for years. They come and go. Mostly here to throw a wrench in the works for a variety of resource projects, mining, forestry mainly. They want Great Bear to remain a pristine wilderness.
You don't sound like you agree.
Oh, I've no love for industry. But this is the way of the world. You have something they want. They take it. Nothing much you can do to stop it.
Well, judging by what I saw in the dam, I'd say the Forest Talkers are still active.
Well, that's good news for you. Keep your eyes open for supply caches they might have left behind.
Okay, so I am now going to go with the... Oh, let's go with Surroundings, actually. That one's blue. Makes me think it's a key one. We'll go with Surroundings.
Can you tell me anything about where we are?
Well, this whole area takes its name from Mystery Lake nearby. It's kind of a wilderness preserve, though you wouldn't know it from the logging trucks. Not much around there, apart from some lake cabins that'll be locked up for the season. You've already seen the dam. Railroad passes through the area. Trains come through once in a while. Fewer every year. Whole area's mostly dead. Most of the year.
You sound like you like it that way.
Yeah, I sure do.
So, no other people living out here?
You gotta understand. The collapse destroyed Great Bear. There's nothing here to stay for. You meet anyone out here? Chances are they're hiding from something. Or someone.
And you? Why are you here?
I have my reasons.
Jeremiah is a lot more mysterious in this version of The Long Dark. There's something very strange going on.
The main reason I'm out here is I'm looking for someone.
Ha! You won't find too many people out here. That's kind of the whole point.
This is someone important to me. A woman. She may have passed through here a few days ago. She might have been injured.
What makes you think she came through here?
She passed through the tunnel leaving Milton, but then... I'm not sure.
Well, the roads from Milton don't lead this way. Wherever she's headed, you'll have to cross the mountains to find her. Not an easy path, even for the most experienced outdoorsman.
I'll do whatever it takes.
Well, you won't get far with that bear on the prowl. What we need is to get my radio up and running, so we can find out what the hell is going on. Maybe someone out there has seen your friend.
The woman I'm looking for. She might be on her way to a place called Perseverance Mills. You know it?
Yeah. Shit-nothing town, north part of the island.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I know it.
We were on our way there, my passenger and I, when we crashed. I need to find a way to get there, or contact her. See if she's all right.
You sure she's alive?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, normally I'd make some calls on the old shortwave. Whole area's been damn quiet since those lights in the sky. Even the wildlife's acting strange. But I might have an idea.
What do you mean the wildlife's acting strange?
You live out here long enough, you get a sense for the patterns in nature. Right now, the patterns are broken. Critters aren't behaving the way they should. It's like they're spooked or something. No, not spooked, but changed somehow. Best way I can say it is, things don't feel right.
Okay, so what's his idea?
You said you had an idea. What do you have in mind?
Well, it's a long shot. But I may know how we can find out about your friend.
I'm listening.
This shortwave, I use it to keep an ear open for what's going on.
So how do we get the radio working?
There's no reason I can see why it shouldn't be working.
Well, what about more parts? Or another radio?
We might find another radio. But I think I have a better idea. Problem is, it's no use with the old bear out there. Your path to a working radio, and our survival, is through that bear. We have to find a way to deal with him first.
I am ready. Or I can come out.
Okay. So we have to deal with the bear. But you're half dead, and rifle shots don't seem to do much. So...
That's because the old bear, he's special. I've been hunting and trapping for years, and I've shot a lot of bears. But I've never encountered anything quite like him. Special bear like that needs special magic to bring him down.
Magic?
Don't worry, I'm not delirious. I don't mean literal magic, but we need the old knowledge, the old ways.
What do you have in mind?
There's an old story, local legend maybe, about one of the original settlers of this place. Spence. Story goes something like this. Spence shows up and sets up his claim shanty with his young family in tow. For generations, the family had been traders in the Hudson's Bay Company. Old voyageur stock, they say. Hard people. Survivors. One day, a bear shows up and menaces the homestead. Spence takes a shot at the bear, but it doesn't seem to do anything. Bear wanders off, but Spence's wife, she takes a turn. Slips into fever. For days, delirious, she screams about the bear. Local doctor can't do a thing for her, neither can the priest. A week later, a hired hand goes missing. And they find him. Just a body. Ravaged. Spence fears for his wife and kids. He's convinced some evil bear spirit is trying to kill them. Revenge for some slight in the past, maybe. Something in the family history. Spence gets some men together for a hunting party. They go out into the muskeg and track something big for days. Eventually corner it. It's a big son of a bitch. Biggest bear they'd ever seen. Man killer. Story goes, they empty their rifles into the bear and it just walks away. Like it's made of stone. They call it the demon bear after that. Wife's dying now. Spence believes the bear's evil spirit is killing her, eating her soul. He can't get anyone to join him on another hunting party. They know rifles don't work. So he forges a spear, boar spear, but bigger. From some old Hudson's Bay trapper's wisdom, apparently. He goes out into the muskeg, disappears for days, and then one morning, the wife's fever breaks. But nothing from Spence. Some men go out looking for him, and they find him. Half dead. Blood all over him. Body torn almost in two. The bear's work. The last thing he says is, "Spear stole the bear's soul. My wife is now free." And then he's gone.
So, did he kill the bear?
Nobody knows. Never found a carcass. They buried Spence, took the spear back and hung it over the mantelpiece in the Spence homestead. Never saw that bear, or any other, again. Years later, after the Spence family faded to obscurity, wealthy land baron bought the spear to hang in his hunting lodge. Just so he could tell that story, I imagine.
So, do you believe it? The story of the demon bear? The spear stealing its soul?
No, of course not. I might spend all my time alone in the wilderness, but I'm not crazy. But the old stories sometimes have truths hidden in them. Spence might have been superstitious, but he had the right idea. 10 inches of cold, hard steel might do what a bullet can't. I'm convinced. A spear's the way to kill that bear. And you need to get Spence's bear-killing spear if we're gonna survive the winter. The old hunting lodge is still there. A couple of days' journey south. Follow the tracks the other way, through the muskeg, and you'll find it. If the spear's there, get it. It might be our best hope.
And the radio?
You deal with the bear, and let me worry about the radio. Now, let me rest. Good luck out there. Watch out for our demon.
Right.
So we're now hunting a demon bear. Awesome. Well, that's a nice little story, actually. I quite like that. That was kind of cool. Can we talk to Jeremiah? I don't know if we triggered that last little section. I think we did, actually. Okay, so we have a new mission. Our mission, should we choose to accept it, and let's face it, we have no choice, retrieve the legendary spear from the hunting lodge. The hunting lodge, of course, is the hunting lodge up above Broken Railroad, up at the top of Broken Railroad. That's the only hunting lodge I know of. So we've got to cross Forlorn Muskeg and then get ourselves into Broken Railroad and find our way to the hunting lodge, which is sort of what we had to do in the last iteration of Wintermute. We had to get across there, but for a different reason, looking for something different. This time, it looks like we have got a far bigger challenge on our hands. So we are going to have to make our way to Forlorn Muskeg, but we are going to start that trek in the next video. We're going to do some housekeeping. We're going to leave some things behind here in Trapper's Cabin, and we're going to take with us only what we need to make our way to the hunting lodge to retrieve this spear. So nice little story, actually, that. Completely different to the original Wintermute, but much better, much more fleshed out. I really am enjoying the new Wintermute versus the old one. It is a lot better. Big improvement. But right now, thank you so much for joining me again for some more Long Dark. A lot of dialogue today, but hopefully we can get ourselves out onto the trail in the next video, and yeah, hopefully we can go and get this spear. But if you like the video, remember, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well to join us for some more Long Dark and hopefully some other stories and series as well. And as always, the playlists for this and also for my ill-fated survival mode playthrough, if you want to check that out right from the beginning, are on the screen as well. But right now, thank you so much for joining me. I shall see you again for some more Wintermute very soon.